Good morning and welcome to all who are here for this Blueprint and Education Update. And joining us here at the George Howard Building and also on GTV. My name is Angela Cabellin and I am the Chief of Staff for County Executive Ball. I also want to welcome all of our elected officials here today. We're going to do the infamous Gazzoni one clap because there's many here, our elected officials as well as community partners. Know that if I don't call your name, it's because you are amongst one of our many illustrious speakers today. So first we have representing Liz Walsh, Wendy Royalty. Representing Christiana Rigby, Colette Gowicks. Representing David Youngman. Okay, we have Delegate Natalie Ziegler, Delegate Chow Wu, Delegate Dr. Clarence Lamb, Senator Clarence Lamb, Delegate Jessica Feldmark. Senator Guy Gazzoni will be joining us. We have BOE Jen Mallow, Chair, and then we have Representative Jessica Clayton for Chris Van Hollen's office. And then we have our community member and Howard County Library System CEO, Tonya Akins. Thank you. And now, because those were some kind of soft claps, let's just do one big round of applause and a bigger clap here because this is an exciting day. So we want to first bring up to discuss our county's astounding accomplishments and commitment to education and progress on the Blueprint. We'll bring up County Executive Calvin Ball.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being here with us today. In the pursuit of the universal goal for students across our state, the Maryland General Assembly passed the Blueprint for Maryland's Future in 2020. Since the passage of the Blueprint, Howard County Public Schools budget has grown from $862 million in FY 2020 to approximately $1.15 billion in FY 2025. In the 2 preceding years alone, we have been able to exceed maintenance of effort levels by more than $116 million. We achieved these historic funding levels without increasing the overall tax rate on residents or compromising other important services to our communities. With that level of funding, we have risen to be a top county in the state in math proficiency and third in English language arts proficiency. To responsibly and collaboratively implement the Blueprint, I issued an executive order to create the Blueprint Resources Planning Work Group in 2023. With representatives from the Howard County Public Schools, Howard County Government, Howard County, Howard Community College, our library system, the Board of Education, the County Council, the state delegation, and the child care community, the work group was tasked with evaluating and forecasting future requirements and funding allocations related to the Blueprint. Through this important work, we continue to dismantle silos, improve collaboration among educational entities, and establish a coordinated strategy to successfully achieve the Blueprint goals. Today, we release the final report from the Blueprint Resources Planning Work Group, which culminates the work that they have diligently undertaken over the past year. Today, we are thrilled to update you on our tremendous progress toward the Blueprint's visionary goals. Pillar 1 of the Blueprint outlines needed expansions to early childhood education in Maryland. In Howard County, we have expanded full-day pre-K to nearly every elementary school in Howard County, ensuring that every Tier 1 4-year-old who wishes to enroll in pre-K has that opportunity. Through this investment, the number of full-day pre-K seats in Howard County has grown by more than 200% since the Blueprint was passed, rising from 300 students in the 2021-2022 school year to over 900 in the current school year. Additionally, we have invested $23 million to renovate the Faulkner Ridge Center, which will create an additional 260 seats of full-day pre-K as a regional early childhood educational facility. Through partnerships with HCC and our Community Action Council, Howard County is also continuing to grow early child care seats, expanding the number of early childhood education opportunities for infants, toddlers, and 2-year-olds. Now, Pillar 2 of the blueprint sets critical goals for teacher recruitment and retention. Since I became your Howard County executive, starting teacher salaries have grown by more than 25% to meet the blueprint requirement of $60,000 a year, a full 2 years ahead of the state deadline. Now, while I know we still have progress to be made for our valued educators, I am proud that we have made the progress that we've made thus far. Knowing that we must remain competitive as other jurisdictions meet this threshold, we will continue to invest in our educators to ensure that Howard County remains an attractive school system for both aspiring and veteran educators. In partnership with our school system, we have fully funded each negotiated agreement with HCEA since the passage of the blueprint, which includes a national board certification incentive pay for all qualifying educators and implementation of the career ladder. We also know that recruiting and retaining top talent means going beyond the requirements of the blueprint. That is why Howard County was the first jurisdiction in the state to create a student loan forgiveness program for our educators, committing $1.5 million to launch the program, and to date, we have provided funding for student loan forgiveness for nearly 150 of our Howard County educators. Pillar 3 of the blueprint promotes college and career readiness for our students to prepare them for the workforce after they graduate. Our continued expansion of college and career readiness pathways has given our students the opportunity to pursue and excel through our dual enrollment program. In Howard County, eligible students can earn up to 60 credits at HCC before graduating high school, and they can enroll in advanced placement tests for free, ensuring increased access to post-secondary success. Our total number of AP test takers has increased by nearly 30% since 2020. Despite decreased enrollment during the same period of time. This means that more than 1,200 additional students are taking AP tests for college credit. Now, while college readiness efforts are underway, our Office of Workforce Development has hired 13 career coaches who are working in our schools to support our student participation in career fairs, job shadowing, visits to local businesses, and apprenticeship opportunities as they prepare to enter the workforce with a licensed credential. Now, Pillar 4 directs additional resources to ensure that all students are successful in our schools. To ensure that every child in our school system has the same opportunities as those around them, we have increased funding for student populations who need our support the most. Our recurring funding for special education and students with IEPs has nearly doubled since 2018, rising from approximately $98 million annually to more than $180 million annually in our current budget. This funding led to the creation of more than 90 special educator positions during the last 3 fiscal years alone, as well as more investments into resources, technology, and supports that our school system needs to support our most vulnerable students. We've recognized that these are jobs that are high in demand across the state, and we will need to engage in new recruitment strategies for our special education educators. As a result of our impactful investments and across every pillar of the blueprint, Howard County has acted with intention and diligence to meet the vision of the blueprint set forth by the Kirwan Commission. We do so because we recognize that our work has a direct impact on the academic and lifelong success of future generations. I want to express my gratitude to Superintendent Barnes, who has worked tirelessly since his first day on the job to make the blueprint a priority. Through strong collaboration and transparency, we have advanced the strongest budget in Howard County Public School System history. I also want to thank and acknowledge Dr. Daria Willis for chairing our Blueprint Resources Work Group. It is no easy feat to convene education partners, lawmakers, and policy experts to come up with the funding policy recommendations, but Dr. Willis made it seamless. Thank you to Board of Education Chair Jen Mallow and the entire Board of Education for your continued partnership in advancing all of these measures on behalf of all of our students, educators, and families. I also extend this gratitude to our legislative leaders on the County Council, who have actually funded these budgets, and our state delegation for their continued collaboration and shared commitment to make certain that Howard County is a national leader in education. And finally, thank you to all of the members and staff of our Blueprint Resources Planning Work Group who work together to ensure that we fulfill the blueprint requirements in earnest. I look forward to our continued work with all of our partners in transforming Howard County's education system and continuing implementation of the blueprint to ensure all of our students have access to a world-class education. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ball. We are so grateful to have a committed leader and partner on education. And now we'll hear from Superintendent Bill Barnes.
Well, good morning. I'm so pleased to join County Executive Calvin Ball, our elected officials, President Willis, our board chair Mallow, and others to acknowledge the hard work that's gone into these early years of blueprint implementation. We firmly believe the blueprint will help transform public education and improve the quality of education for each and every child in Maryland. Maryland's blueprint for the future has been a focus of my first 90 days plan, a plan that I shared with the community over the summer, and it will continue to be a focus of mine over subsequent 90-day plans throughout my tenure. At the same time, it requires our system to currently assess how it's funded and to prioritize the programs and services that align to anticipated outcomes. And as you know, resources are limited, so we must work to maximize every dollar. To realize the success our students deserve, implementing a reform effort of this magnitude requires focus, stakeholder engagement, a commitment to collaborative problem solving, and a great deal of creativity and hard work. And as I've said on many occasions, if we hope to become a great school system, then we're going to have to make the decisions that lead us to being great for each and every student. But there's a lot we've already collectively accomplished, and I want to just share a few of the achievements from our initial blueprint implementation efforts. And we all share in this celebration, and I appreciate Dr. Ball for highlighting some already. First, we've expanded from 15 full-day pre-kindergarten classrooms in 2021-2022 school year to 56 full-day pre-kindergarten classrooms this school year. An investment in early childhood is an investment in ensuring that every one of our students enters kindergarten with the skills, knowledge, and experiences that are required for success. Next, We've committed to growing our workforce by increasing the minimum teacher salary from $50,000 per year to $60,000 per year, while also raising overall teacher wages by an average of 10% in the last 3 years. Sticking with our growing our staff, the number of Howard County teachers with national board certifications, a rigorous certification program, has grown from 197 teachers in 2021-2022 to a total of 293 teachers this year. And most excitingly, over 500 teachers are currently in the pipeline to achieve this credential. Moving on, students at no cost to them accessed over 9,000 advanced placement exams and nearly as many dual enrollment courses, with even higher participation expected this year. I want to celebrate our partnership with Howard Community College. A special thank you to Dr. Willis, who continues to be a strong advocate in engaging our students meaningfully in dual enrollment and middle college programming. Thank you, Dr. Willis. Thank you to your team. And I also want to thank staff member, the Howard County Public School System staff member, Larissa Siddiqui, our coordinator of dual enrollment, for leading the explosive growth in dual enrollment over these past 7 years. Continuing on, Howard County Public Schools has established 8 community schools to support the needs of our students and our families in our schools with the highest concentrations of poverty. And we're excited about the way these schools will benefit from county partnerships and programs and dedicated staffing that enhance our connection to our school community. This program is a game changer, and our team is looking to expand components of the program to many, many more schools. Next, in partnership with the Office of Workforce Development, career counseling staff were hired at the secondary level to ensure students are connected to career and college opportunities. This year, students will receive access to career counseling experiences, career events, and surveys to create post-secondary plans. And finally, comprehensive reading and mathematics strategic plans are being developed to ensure that we can build upon our early successes that were referenced by Dr. Ball, and we can expand that so that we are #1 in the state in math for each and every student, and we build on our gains in literacy, but again, for each and every student. I'm proud of the partnership with our community partners, and I'm proud of our school systems, school-based and central office staff who worked hard together to make these gains possible. And while the county executives work group, the work of that work group is coming to an end, the continued involvement of all stakeholders is paramount to the successful implementation of Blueprint initiatives in the coming years. So I look forward to working with our team to bring action to the recommendations set forth by this impressive work group team. I'm so fortunate to work alongside a Board of Education that shares a commitment to the priorities in the Blueprint, and it was worked with me to align strategic priorities in 5 key focus areas that are aligned to Blueprint outcomes. In addition to a focus on early literacy, mathematics, and career and college readiness, all worthwhile academic pursuits, we are focusing our attention to those factors that contribute to the success in the classroom, tackling a growing challenge with chronic absenteeism, and closely examining how we might overcome our disproportionality in our discipline systems. We need to do that so that our students are available for learning and ready to learn at their best when they're in the classroom. So as I kind of wrap up, I'm grateful for County Executive Ball, his continued partnership as we work to address these many, many challenges together. And I want to thank our elected officials, our Board of Education members for being terrific partners as we work to be a model school system for Blueprint implementation. Lastly, thank you to the team that I get to work with every day in the school system, led by our systems Blueprint coordinator, Mr. Tim Guy, the team is implementing strategies that fulfill and sometimes exceed expectations for Blueprint, and they're considering the many unique ways we may serve each and every student and staff. We look forward to our continued partnership with all that I've spoke about earlier today, and want to say thank you, and we should take some time to celebrate some of these early successes. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Superintendent Barnes. While also leading a phenomenal community college as president, she served as chair of the Blueprint Resources Work Group. Let's give a big round of applause for Dr. Daria Willis.
Thank you, Angela, for that introduction. And I also want to thank Angela and Yusuf for making sure that I was ready for all of our meetings. It was definitely my great honor to serve as the chair of the work group for the Blueprint Committee. I want to thank all the work group members who dedicated their time to crafting this final report, and to County Executive Ball and Superintendent Barnes and the entire administration for their support. We all share a common goal of growing HCPSS as one of the nation's best school districts, and doing so through student-centered focus and making sure that we are fiscally responsible. Our charge was to develop a set of recommendations that will expand early childhood education, that will cultivate teaching talent, and grow accountability in student development and preparation for post-secondary education and career outcomes. In developing this proposal, we accounted for several factors, not just here in Howard County, but all over our country. Through collaboration with a variety of stakeholders, we believe that we have a pathway to support students with greater resources and to continue to attract and retain the teachers who will propel each of our students for success. We know that this will be a labor of love from our state, county, and our HCPSS community members. We support Dr. Ball and the Howard County Council as they maintain education as a tenet of success in the future of Howard County and its quality of life metrics. Thank you for everyone who has attended today and knowing the strength of what happens when people come together, when institutions and communities come together, and when you have your community college at the center of it. So thank you all for what you do, and we look forward, Superintendent Barnes, to continuing to support you in the great success for all of our children in Howard County.
Thank you, Dr. Willis. And now I'd like to introduce an advocate and leader on education, Board of Education Chair, Jen Mallow.
The Board of Education of Howard County is committed to fully fulfilling the blueprint because, simply put, it's the right thing to do for kids and for adults, for our educators. And I'm going to try to simplify it for you and take out the buzzwords as to why this is important. Pre-K is important because it prepares kids for school that historically haven't been ready. It levels the playing field, and the more we pour into pre-K, the less we have to spend for costly services to support those students down the road. The better we pay our educators, the more likely we are to keep them in the field and keep working. And the more they stay, the longer they're with us, the better they become as teachers. So when we pay our teachers better, a professional wage, we retain them and we grow them as educators. The better we prepare our students for their eventual careers, the more our students graduate ready to make a contribution to our society and the workforce. It's additive. It multiplies the situation for them and for our state of Maryland and for Howard County. So thank you to our funders. The state and the county funding commitments should be celebrated. And we thank you in advance for continuing to fully fund us so that we can make a difference here in Howard County for our students, our staff, and the whole community. So thank you all for your participation and your continued support.
So it was so important to have our partners participating in the Blueprint Resources Work Group at the table. And these leaders who are from our state delegation also continue to fight for education in Annapolis. First, we'll hear from our Senate Delegation Chair, Dr. Clarence Lamb.
All right. Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure and honor to be here on behalf of our delegation. I see many delegation members here. I want to thank all of them for being here to support this initiative as well. This has been a really important occasion because I recall 3 years ago, back in 2021, sitting on the Senate Education, Health, and Environmental Affairs Committee as one of the members who had worked through a lot of these provisions to put the skeleton on the bill that finally led to all of the work that we're doing now. And it's great to be able to see the implementation finally come together to be able to stand this up here in Howard County as well. A lot of partnerships need to take place for this to be able to happen. I want to thank Dr. Willis for her leadership of this work group and to the county executive for his recognition to be able to pull all of us together to really boil down what the essentials of the blueprint provisions really mean for us to be able to stand up here in Howard County. And also all of the members. I know Delegate Watson, who's served on this work group with me for the last over a year, has been a tremendous leader in this as well. To be able to pull all this together when we look at things like early childhood education, and those partnerships that I mentioned are incredibly important. That's why I know that we have members from Community Action Council who are here, and Tracy Broccolino and her organization, Dr. Willis, and the Children's Learning Center, which continues to be one that we will work on and hopefully be able to open the doors on soon too as well. And the state continues to provide funding when it comes to early childhood education. Just in pre-K funding, the state will be increasing its funding from fiscal year 2023 of $10,000 per pupil up to $20,000 per student in FY30. So that's just over the next 7 years coming into play. When it comes to being college and career ready, we recognize in the General Assembly that that's incredibly important. There are many advocates within the General Assembly to help ensure that we have students that are college and career ready. I know the General Assembly just this past session set up an Apprenticeship 2030 Commission, which I think Delegate Wu actually serves on as well, and will continue to work on and support these partnerships with HCC, with our school system, to be able to help continue to elevate that priority as well. And then particularly for Howard County, resources for our students is incredibly important in Pillar 4 as well. When we look at the diversity of our population here and the student body that we have, having English language resources to continue to support engagement with that population is very important for us, as well as English as a second language expansion. And so we know that while a lot of progress has been made so far, a lot of progress still will be coming forward to us. And we as a state and all of us in the General Assembly stand as ready partners to be able to continue to work with everyone here to ensure that those resources are available. We know that this is really challenging. We know the budget situation has been really challenging, not only at the local level, but also forthcoming at the state level as well. But we also know that as a community, we won't be able to make progress unless we push. And that's what we in the General Assembly, through this roadmap, through this blueprint, have been hoping to do over the last few years, and know that there's continued progress that will come. But we also recognize that if there are adjustments that are needed that we need to look at, we stand ready to be able to work with all of you to look at that as well. So with that, I want to thank the county executive and all the staff who brought this work group together. We look forward to being able to continue to be ready partners in all the work that comes. So thank you so much on behalf of the delegation.
Thank you, Senator Lamb. And now we'll hear from our House Delegation Chair, Delegate Chow Wu.
Good morning. Okay. So, is it either too high or too low? Okay. I really want to appreciate Dr. Bo, County Executive, who commissioned this work group, and it really put all the stakeholders together to understand what is required to really advance the blueprint. And I want to really appreciate Dr. Willis to chair the commission or work group. I know it's not easy to really have a broad stakeholder try to come with some consensus, because there's so many competing requirements, competing directions. Really appreciate that. And At the same time, appreciate Delegate Courtney Watson. Keep updating the delegation with her like 1 or 2 pages update every other while. So it's really helpful to understand what's going on there. And at the same time, I think as a state delegate and Howard County House Chair delegation, so I would say we continue to support our education system and make sure we have the resources available to really create a competitive salary for our teachers and an enjoyable work environment for them as well. Then provide the quality education for all students in Howard County. We know the task can be daunting because we know that the resources is scared, a little limited, and we definitely want to work together with all stakeholders to find available resources and try to find a balanced approach to move this forward. We probably heard from the governor, and there's some maybe adjustment, but we definitely want to make sure we hear every stakeholder and work with everyone and see what we can do to really continue this path and advance our education system. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Delegate Wu. Our government, education, and community partners are critical to the collective work of education. I'd like to introduce a very critical leader focused on various aspects of career and technical education of the Blueprint. So I'd like to introduce our Office of Workforce Development Administrator, Stephanie Adibe.
I'll need to stand on it. Good morning, and thank you, Dr. Ball, for the opportunity to provide updates on the work our office is doing to support the Blueprint implementation. I'm excited to share with you the significant progress we've made since the passage of Blueprint, particularly in the areas of career counseling, workforce training, and apprenticeships. The Office of Workforce Development is committed to empowering our youth by preparing them for a successful future. We are proud to partner with the Howard County Public School Systems and Howard Community College to provide comprehensive career counseling services to all middle and high school students. Through collaboration with Howard County Public School Systems Career Readiness Advisors, our career coaches are actively engaged in both school day and after-school enrichment programs, delivering tailored support to help students explore various career pathways. Our career coaches focus on guiding students through a process that not only helps them identify potential career paths, but also supports them in crafting a vision for their future that aligns with their skills, interests, and aspirations. We've shifted from traditional assessments to an interactive approach, guiding students through discussions, making career planning more personal and impactful. As Superintendent Barnes touched on our ongoing efforts, this school year, we've prioritized several key programs to support our students. We offer individual and small group career counseling for 11th and 12th graders. Our Career Spotlight series focuses on specific career clusters through integrated lessons and virtual discussions, exposing students to a variety of professions and pathways. Through career clubs, our career coaches offer students work experience opportunities and connections to specific career fields. We are planning multiple youth-centered career fairs designed to immerse students in career exploration. We offer career exploration and readiness workshops to prepare students with skills essential for transitioning into the workforce. Our virtual career exploration modules provide immersive and engaging learning experiences to help our youth explore and understand different job roles in an interactive way. We recognize that preparing our youth for the future involves more than just academic achievement. Workforce training and apprenticeships play a critical role in equipping our students with the hands-on experience they need to excel in their chosen fields, which will not only bridge the gap between education and employment, but also create a pipeline of skilled workers who are ready to contribute to our local economy. The Blueprint for Maryland's Future has given us a robust framework to expand our efforts in workforce development. Together with our partners, we are committed to ensuring that every student in Howard County has the opportunity to reach their full potential and achieve career success.
Thank you, Stephanie. Our school communities are so important and at the heart are our teachers and staff. So I'd like to introduce and welcome HCEA President Ben Schmidt.
Good morning, County Executive Ball and our other leaders from our political delegation and school system. I'm Benjamin Schmidt, a 26-year veteran art teacher in Howard County, and I'm proudly serving as the president of Howard County Education Association, our union of over 6,000 educators and staff who work in Howard County Public Schools. I'm here today to reflect on the progress we've made toward achieving Pillar 2 of the Blueprint for Maryland's future, and the work we will continue to do together in the coming months and years. Howard County is not immune from the statewide educator shortage and retention crisis. A report by MSDE found that half of new teachers leave the profession in their first 5 years. And here in Howard County, we've seen ranks of teachers on provisional licenses continue to grow. This creates a revolving door that stresses HCPSS to continually hire hundreds of new teachers every year. We want all of our schools and our kids to have educators who they know and trust and build relationships with year after year. In order to do that, we must address compensation for teachers, which continues to be far below that of other professions with similar education. As a union, we've advocated for and worked with the county and school system to stay ahead of neighboring counties. Last year, we secured additional pay for teachers earning their NBCT, as well as additional pay for teachers who work in our schools that need the most support. This year, our contract provides a starting salary of $60,000 for new teachers, 1 full year ahead of the Blueprint's required timeline for minimum starting salaries. Importantly, unlike other jurisdictions, we've been able to increase starting salaries without increasing benefit costs to employees. We still have a lot of work ahead of us to realize the promise of the Blueprint for the teacher workforce. In addition to raising compensation to recruit top graduates, we must turn our attention to our most experienced educators so that they will stay in the classroom and so that they will mentor the next generation of our educators. This year, we will work collaboratively with the school system to develop a career ladder that recognizes the time educators need to mentor other educators, support young people who need additional help, and can develop their skills to become teacher leaders in their schools. Key to our continued success is strong partnerships between our union, the school system, the Board of Education, County Executive Ball, and the County Council, and the leaders in the General Assembly. Also key to our success is the advocacy of our members and Howard County neighbors, all of whom know the power of a high-quality education to transform the lives of our kids and communities. Thank you.
Thank you. A leader in childcare and also one who works tirelessly to ensure all families are thriving, I'd like to introduce CAC President Tracy Broccolino.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of CAC, thank you, Dr. Ball and Angela, for this opportunity to share CAC's Blueprint journey. Since 1965, CAC has been working to diminish poverty and enable self-sufficiency for all Howard County individuals, families, and in need. And since 1979, we have been a cornerstone in the early childhood landscape as Howard County's sole Head Start grantee. Currently, we are now serving in 5 locations. How about that, Daria? And happy to report that the CLC's doors are open and there are children in there. Yay! All right. So, serving up to 400 children and growing. Since 1979, CAC, as the Head Start grantee, has been serving families that are at federal poverty level. I'll give you an example. A family of 4 cannot earn more than $31,200 to be eligible for Head Start. And yet we know the University of Washington tells us that the self-sufficiency standard for Howard County for that family of 4 to not receive any supplements from anyone is $146,000, with childcare taking about 30% or more of the budget. In 2016, CAC became a MSDE pre-K expansion grantee, a forerunner for Pillar 1 of the Blueprint for Maryland's future. This allowed us to meet community needs because it opened the doors for families earning up to 300% of federal poverty level, more appropriate for our community. Today, CAC is a strong partner with our friends at Howard County Public School System and the largest community provider in the mixed delivery model. So what does that mean? That same family of four can make over $90,000 and still have access to CAC's two-generational approach. This means their children receive full year, full day programming. Their family receives a dedicated family service worker who works with them to move from crisis to thriving, to meet their personal goals, whether that be to increase their wages, finish their education, or build assets. They also gain access to all of CAC's services, weekly access to our Howard County Food Bank, housing assistance, energy assistance, weatherization assistance. Pillar 1 ultimately meets the needs of Howard County's families with young children earning more than federal poverty level, but not enough to afford housing, childcare, and their household expenses. The Blueprint Pillar 1 is having a generational impact. More children are having access to quality early childhood education at no cost to their families, so their families can work, they can attend school, and build their assets. Children are no longer being segregated by income. The mixed delivery model is working in Howard County. Parents can make the best educational choices for their children and their family situation. And, as an added bonus, this also means that CAC can better meet the needs of the community. Through partnerships with County Executive Ball and his administration and those investments, we are able to shift now our services to expand, as Dr. Ball mentioned, for free early childhood infant and toddler care for the first time in Howard County history. Ultimately, Howard County stands as a model for the state in the implementation of Blueprint Pillar 1. We are innovative in all ways. As a former early childhood educator, it is really humbling to stand here on behalf of CAC and all of our partners and be proud of the work that we've done. Ultimately, CAC, none of us really could do it without each other, and we're really grateful for the strong partnerships we have. Thank you for the opportunity to share.
As we kick off a wonderful school year, thank you all for joining us here today and for these tremendous updates on our progress for Howard County's Blueprint for Education. I want to thank you all for joining us, and this now concludes our event.